You are welcome to my channel, welcome back. I'm going to be speaking about the movie Project X. So, first of all, this channel has been primarily about books, but now I'm going to review a film. I've decided to do that because movies are stories too, and movies are more in popular culture than books are right now. And I think that I do love movies. I watch a lot of movies, and as a writer, I think that I can learn from movies, and because it's storytelling, it's all storytelling at the end of the day. And I did learn a lot from this movie, Project X, and I just was blown away by this movie, by this story, which is just an amazing story, and I have a lot to say about it. So, obviously this kid in the story named Thomas, and I think the other character is called Costa, but in real life the guy I think was called Corey. As I understand, it was an Australian guy. Maybe I'm wrong, because that story was set in North Carolina, which I believe is in America. So perhaps they just moved the story from Australia to an American setting. I think the teenager Corey, obviously it was a long time ago now, and I've since seen an interview of him online where he's come on, he's said how the story changed him, how he's grown up, etc. I just find it phenomenal, the level of say arrogance that he has. At the end when he's speaking to the news host, and she says in this interview, and this isn't in the film, but I'd recommend that you watch this anyway, the interview of Corey as a teenager. So the news hostess says, "Why don't you take your glasses off, Corey?" And he says, no. "Why don't you take your glasses off, Corey?" "No, they're famous." It's just a phenomenal and very respectable level of manliness and courage and bravery. He's just like, fuck you, I'm not going to do what you tell me. Which is just, I'm very proud of him for having that level of, yeah, I'm going to be me. So, going to keep the glasses on. And just to stand bold like that is very respectable. So that's what I wanted to say about that. However, obviously the party was a complete travesty, caused havoc all around the neighbourhood. The film shows that with, by the way, which was awesome about the movie, using genuine footage from pieced together from what people had sent to the producers of the movie, little clippets of video from their phones. So there's these amazing scenes throughout the movie where you've got like little clippets of the party from these like genuine recordings taken from people's phones. It's just it was so interesting to see that, and just to see clippets of the party, which is like, holy shit. So that was one hell of a party. I mean, I wish I were there, you know. You just, at the end of that movie, I was like, oh man. Which is another point I want to talk about the movie, because, you know, there is some promotion of ecstasy, drugs in the movie. There's this bit where this gnome, what's the guy's name, Miles Teller, is it? Hits the thing with the baseball bat, hits the gnome with the baseball bat, and it basically explodes, and all of these pills of ecstasy come just flying out, and everyone goes mad and is scrambling around on the floor to get a hold of the pill, and the camera goes into like a zoom up of someone putting the pill on their tongue. And I don't know, for me, I was like feeling that there was a And it's Warner Brothers, right? So perhaps they shouldn't be promoting drug use in that way, but it made drug use look like a desirable thing. So I just wondered, and I'm not against drugs, you know, and I think that people should be allowed to experiment with the drugs if they want to. But I think that I am against Warner Brothers promoting drugs in such a way, because I don't, as I know, Warner Brothers, I don't know really. Doesn't it produce a lot of kids' movies as well? So I think it was a bit over the line when it made ecstasy appear in such a like, oh, I want to do this. I want to take it. It looks great. Which could be done by word of mouth rather than I think Warner Brothers have a certain level of responsibility in which they should be a bit more serious about the maybe accidental promotion of drug use, which just came across to me as a very fantastic experience that I would want to replicate in my life, and I'm sure that other teenagers who watched that film probably would have been inspired to take drugs because of it, which maybe isn't the best thing. I think that it should remain a bit of a word of mouth phenomenon, not promoted by big name film companies. So that's how I feel about that. But saying that, it was a fantastic story. So I suppose that I would have no issue with that promotion of drugs if it were not Warner Brothers. Honestly speaking, if it was some independent film company, I would have felt much more comfortable. So, because I did think it was genuinely a fantastic story. I mean, it was a fantastic piece of cinematography, and I genuinely had very intense emotions as I watched the story. I think because it was also from a first-person view, as in there was a character called Dax, who's pretty silent throughout the film because he's a goth, and he's filming the whole thing on his camera. He's filming the three main characters, just following them around. Obviously, he's filming Corey, and he's filming this guy Thomas Cobb throughout the film. So, because you get this kind of fly-on-the-wall observation of all these important moments, which was just magnificently done. It was it was a fantastic perspective. Because there's parts of the party you feel like you're there, you know, you're perceiving it through the eyes of this Dax. So it was a brilliant technique to use for that movie, and a reflection of how society is nowadays, because there's a lot of people that do go around filming things on their phones, so that is how they perceive the world, is through a lens. So it worked on the level of it drew you into the film with that perspective. It was a commentary of, you know, modern day society, in the sense that this is how a lot of people view the world. Thirdly, it gave us the opportunity to do a bit of a kind of Great Gatsby thing where you're not the main character, you're not viewing the film through kind of the relation to the main character, but you're viewing, you know, the party host through somebody else, you know, the character who's basically just there, you know, the outsider on the edge of the group, but he's following them around. And so, yeah, it was kind of a very kind of Great Gatsby. Do you know what I mean? Like, one kind of tertiary character acts as the storyteller, and we perceive the host of the party. It worked on that level. And then it worked on the level of getting all of this camera footage as well from phones and telephones and piecing them together. So the main storytelling device, when it merged with all of the phones and other clips of video, the transitioning was brilliantly done, because it was filmed like that the whole way through the story. So it worked on 4 levels, probably a lot more that I've not even picked up on. I could go on about this movie, so I'm just going to mention the plot line. I mean, I was utterly roped in, and I just followed it from beginning through to the end, and I really felt the emotions of the host, Thomas Cubb, of the party. And maybe that was because he acted it brilliantly. Maybe it was because of the way that it was filmed, directed. But yeah, that you genuinely felt his anxiety when his parents phoned. When people started smashing up his house, you genuinely felt his worry, his anxiety. So, and then obviously he takes the ecstasy as well, and you genuinely at that point, I don't know what changes, but you genuinely feel more relaxed as well as the film is following him through. So watching that movie was a very emotional experience that did give me the emotions of the host of the party, and the feelings of excitement and then panic and then relaxation and then just aggression at some point, and then the nerves at the end, and finally it ends in pride, which is again a strange way to end a movie, which was about like, here's a epic party that destroyed basically a neighbourhood and would have cost his parents a lot of money and ended in several court cases. But hey, what a happy ending for the kid, huh? Very inspiring to go out and host a fucking party like that, which pretty sure Warner Brothers should not be doing, because it was such an epic event, and I wish I was there at that party, and I wish that, and I hope that one day I'm involved in a similar party. So that's all for that one.